I want to tell you a little bit about Dr. Nambi Narayanan, and sorry, let me say that again. I want to tell you a little bit about Nambi Narayanan, Nambi sir, like I like to call him, Nambi sir, and how I met him and how this movie happened. After Vikram Veda, somebody told me that there is a story of a good-looking ISRO scientist who had an affair with a Maldivian woman, and because of that affair, he sold rocketry secrets of India to Pakistan. He was arrested, tortured, beaten in the jail, and almost killed. But with the help of the CBI, he got out and he was proved innocent. So I thought it's a very good story, a poor man's James Bond story. I thought I could quickly finish this film. So with that very, let me say, shameful but shallow desire, I went to meet Nambi sir in Trivandrum. But when I met him, when I saw him, I knew immediately that we were missing something. Because he had a tejas, he had a power. He looked like a lion in a cage. His eyes were bright, shiny, but sad and angry at the same time. He met me very politely and he said, Mr. Madhavan, I like your films. You're a good actor. I'm a big fan and everything. But, when he started talking about the case, about all the falseness of the case and how it was such a futile case with no proof. No, brother, just sit down for 2 minutes. They can't see me. So sorry. Huh? We'll do it. I'll give you promise. I'll give you photos. So, thank you, sir. So there I started looking at him and he was talking very angrily. Look at it, how wrong it is. This is not right. How can they call me a betrayer of the country? How can they call me a traitor? That was his biggest problem. So I said, sir, I understand. But you've already been vindicated. You've already been proved innocent. This is in 2016 and 17. Before the Padma Bhushan, before the compensation was given to him. I told him, the court has said you're innocent. What is the problem? He said, what is the problem? He said, you know I'm innocent. I know I'm innocent. The court knows I'm innocent. But go to Google and put my name. See what comes out. And when you go to Google and put Nambi Narayanan, it says ISRO spy case, fame on Nambi Narayanan. Even now, everybody suspects that there is a possibility that he could have been a spy. He says, what did I do wrong with this country? How can I live with that? Everybody still, and he says, if I am innocent, somebody is guilty. Who's guilty? Unless you find who's guilty, I will never be innocent. And so I thought what he said had a lot of point. So I started writing a script for 7 months. I went back to him after 7 months and I said, sir, this is a script. He was very happy. He said, very good. But only this point there is a discrepancy, Madhavan, because I was in Princeton. So I said, what do you mean you were in Princeton? He said, I was the first Ivy League scientist from India to get the Ivy League scholarship and go to Princeton, and I studied under Professor Crocco. I started getting really worried because I'm thinking, how is this man saying all this? How does he know Professor Luigi Crocco, who's supposed to be one of the foremost scientists at NASA, who's largely involved with the moon mission? How is Nambi Narayanan connected with him? And he told me that he finished the thesis under him in 10 months. People take 5 years, 7 years to finish it. 10 months he finished it. Then he told me about his achievements in Princeton, in France, in Scotland, in going to USSR when USSR was USSR and was breaking up, how he got engines out of USSR when they were forbidding India from getting the cryogenic engine so that they can participate in the satellite launch market in 1994. A baffling story which sounded to me like not just James Bond, but the father's father of James Bond. He's a rock star. I said, is it true? Is it possible? How can an Indian scientist do all these things? But the unfortunate truth is, everything was true. He just didn't think it was important to tell the world about his achievements. He's written 2 books, and that also this is not mentioned in detail. I said, what sort of an Indian is this? What sort of a man is he? And I said, sir, when did you plan to tell me? Why did you not tell me? I wrote, like an idiot, I wrote the script for 7 months. You never thought you should tell me all this? And he said, what is there to tell? They paid me a salary, I did my duty. That's all. And he also said, by the way, I also made the Vikas engine. I said, by the way, like how we make Puliodare at home, you're saying, by the way, we made Vikas engine? Are you talking about the Vikas engine, which is the only liquid fuel indigenously built engine that ISRO has, which is the only engine without which none of these missions, Mangalyaan, Chandrayaan, nothing is possible. The engine which has the reputation of never having failed, world record sort of thing. Is that the engine you're talking about? He said, yes. That day I got very moved, very emotional. I realized there are two types of patriots. One that brazenly go out and fight for the country and give up their lives saying Bharat Mata ki Jai, and they take a bullet for us, they give up their lives for us, and there are many such people, and hats off to their sacrifice, and I will always as a nation be indebted to them. There's another type of patriots who put their life on the line every day, whose job and the nature of their job puts them in danger every day, who have barely any family life, who give everything they have to the job, knowing very well that they will never be recognized, never be talked about, no street will be named after them, no bust will be put up at the end of any road, but they still do their job with might and anger and passion. And that is when I decided to make this movie. I really wanted to, it took me 1.5 years to write this story, and after 1.5 years, I decided to make this movie. I made this movie for two reasons. One is what we did with a genius like Nambi Narayanan should never happen to any Indian, ever, not just any Indian. No scientist or patriot around the world should go through what he has gone through, which is unbearable. And we have to know about it. Not knowing Nambi Narayan sir's story, I think, is a national disservice, is actually unpatriotic, because we have to know why, what makes this country what we are today, this functional democracy that we are in today, what makes it like that. Very important for us to know. And the second reason I made is, as a film industry, we only make movies about freedom struggle and our mythology, as well as our, Mughal struggles, which is very good, and hats off to all those sacrifices. But there's another industry that we are extraordinary at, which is science, technology, space research, and IT. People from Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, all over India, they are ruling the roost in all over the world. When Hollywood makes a movie called Steve Jobs or Interstellar or Apollo 13 or Inception, we believe that, yeah, they are the only ones capable of doing all these rocket work, and we believe that they are the only ones who are capable of saving Earth. But we also have thousands of such scientists and technicians and technocrats who are top, CEOs in the Fortune 500 companies today. All of them. I mean, Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, you name it. I'm a big fan of these two people, but you name it in every field, from metaverse to Web 3.0, is all being developed by Indians across the world. They are front runners in these technologies, but we don't make movies about them. So I wanted to pay an homage to all the engineers, especially the ones that have gone from the south all the way to other parts of the world and made us so proud, so that the intellectual capital of our country, which is so important, I think in the years to come, the bigger wars will be fought because of intellectual capital, and I think India is the hub of that sort of intelligence, and therefore I want them to come back. I want them to make India proud where they are from, but I also want them to come back to India and make India proud, because I think in the years to come, much sooner than you think, space research and interplanetary travel is going to become a necessity, and India needs to be the forerunner on that, and that is the reason I made this film. It took me 6 years, and we have done a lot of things that have been never done in any film before. Like we have shown a rocket engine. You must have seen rockets or spaceships, but you will never see a rocket engine in any film. We've shown a rocket engine, and the beauty of a rocket engine, it looks like a diamond jewelry when you see it when it is off, but when it is on, the power of it is so much that, if you're too close to it, your eardrums will burst. It's the loudest noise known to man. The second reason, second thing that we've done that has been never done in any other film before, is all the scientists have gone from 29 to 79 without prosthetics. So no beard and mustache, no false wig, nothing. Everything is real. It took us a lot of research and a lot of effort to get into that look. The reason I did that is because everything we're saying in the story is true. I don't want the public to think that just because it's a stuck-on beard or a mustache, that something about the film is not as genuine as the look. We had our teeth alignment changed so that I could look like Dr. Nambi Narayanan. We put on weight and lost weight over a short period of time without affecting our health and still looking younger. So all this research, which we'll eventually reveal when we do Secrets of Rocketry. But I want you to see a couple of photographs and understand how we looked. Most importantly, Dr. Nambi Narayanan was so good looking that people refused to believe that Nambi sir did not have an affair with the Maldivian woman. Because if he's this good looking and he's a genius and he speaks so well, he must have had an affair. And I want to show you how good looking he was. And I'm asking you to imagine a very good looking person. I think he was better looking than John F. Kennedy. But you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'll turn the lights off. And can we just put the picture of Dr. Nambi Narayanan in Princeton, New Jersey with his wife. This man not have an affair. The photograph of me while I was in the shoot. Let me actually show you my teeth. And during the research, I realized how teeth can make somebody look. That's how I had it changed. Thank you. How the stomach shakes when you laugh. Please show the picture. So that cannot be a padding stomach. And I'm going to show you a picture of me after 14 days, because we don't have all the time in the world to grow thin and fat, but we had to keep it real. So I will show you how I looked after 14 days. Now this look is without starving, without surgery, without medication, without supreme amount of exercise, nothing. Very calmly I got into this weight loss. 14 days later, this is how I looked. There you go. If you see the hairstyle, it's the same hair. Go back to the original picture. You see the hairstyle, same haircut. Go to the next picture. There you go. Okay, lights on. Period of many years to get it perfect, and being the trendsetters on that front where Bahubali has created history, I'm feeling very proud to be here today to say we did the same amount of hard work, although I wish we had the same amount of budget, but my budget did not allow that much, so we did the same amount of hard work, and I'm very happy and proud to be here today. I'm happy to answer any questions that you will have. Mike.
Is Rocketry is put a full stop for the injustice happened to the Nambi sir?
Sir, at least the question that Nambi sir is asking, I keep saying doctor, but that is because, Nambi Narayanan sir has got COVID. And I've been speaking to the doctor the whole day. So I'm saying doctor. Nambi Narayanan is not the right word. He's Nambi Narayanan sir. So Nambi sir has asked a question. He says, if I am innocent, then somebody is guilty. We have still not found out who is guilty and punished them. So unless we find the person who is guilty and the reason he was jailed, there cannot be an outcome there cannot be a full stop, no? That's all.
So what were, sir, here.
Yeah.
What were the kind of emotions you've been through in this entire journey of Rocketry? And what are the changes you observed inside you as an artist and as a human being?
The first thing that hit me was anger when I heard Nambi sir's answers. The second thing was disbelief. And the third thing that hit me the most was, how can we be as a country like this? How can we not know about our patriots? So that was the one feeling, overwhelming feeling. It used to wake me up at night. My wife used to say, you're sleeping more with Nambi sir than with me. Every night you're getting and talking about him. But that became a dream. It became a kind of a maniacal mission for us. And so I just did not know how to convert that except to tell the story. The emotions that I've been through is everything from ecstasy to agony. This film was not easy to make. The challenges were not easy. But I had a whole unit that was full of madmen, mad people. They did not look at challenges as challenges. Everything they said, we will go. They will stand in front of a huge wave and say, we will still cross it. And thankfully, we crossed it, and now we are here for the release.
Hi sir, Kalyan from India Glitz.
Hi.
I'm a huge fan of your work, firstly.
Thank you, brother.
Lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
And it's a very common question I wanted to ask you. Like, you have worked...
We can turn the lights dim so I can see them.
Yeah, no, okay. You have worked on Nambi Narayanan sir's biopic, actually. So if somebody has to work on your biopic in the near future, who would it be? Or only you would be acting in that?
You're very kind, brother, and thank you for the backhanded compliment. But let's see at the end of my life if if it's worthy of being made into a biopic. But if it is, then I hope somebody who knows me and what I stand for makes it. I really don't have anybody in mind right now, honestly.
All the very best for this.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
How much facts in its and fiction in the movie?
So very good question. How much facts and fiction? So Dr. Nambi Narayanan, again I'm saying Dr. Nambi Narayanan sir's life is the most cinematic story I have ever heard in my life. It is fully James Bond. Unbelievable amount of James Bond. I'm telling you, things what he has done in Russia and France, and how many scientists do you know who have done these kind of things? Secondly, accused of having an affair with a Maldivian woman, getting to jail, almost killed. I don't need to add any more masala in this film. In fact, I have taken out facts to make it believable. There are so many facts that if I had kept in the film, it's impossible to believe that one man has gone through all this and not committed suicide. It's like that. So, the only liberty I have taken is crunched time and mixed 2-3 characters into one to tell an incident. But apart from that, all the incidences are the same.
Hello, sir. Here. ఇక్కడ లెఫ్ట్
Oh, hello, sir. Hi.
ఈ డైరెక్షన్ చేయడానికి రీజన్ ఏంటి సార్? వేరే చేయకనా మీరు చేయాలనుకున్నారా?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
వై డూయింగ్ డైరెక్షన్?
Why? So, I didn't want to, brother. I mean, whenever as an actor somebody said that a man is directing, writing, doing the screenplay and the script of a film, I used to laugh out really loud because I know that that film is a flop. There is no way that anybody can do all those 4 departments. But I didn't have a choice. I couldn't find a writer who understood how a liquid fuel engine will work. I have an engineering background. I have studied, all my life I've been a fan of engineering as well as the aerospace and what they achieve. And so I know a little bit about the engine. Dr. Nambi sir always kept testing me also about whether I have the ability to write about his engine and make a movie. So writing I had to do. Acting I wanted to do because, every actor dreams of doing a film like Nayakan or, where you're growing from a young person to an old person. So I thought this will be my opportunity. I did not realize how difficult it is going to be. The third thing is, I no one want to produce this film because they said, who's the heroine, how many songs, how many fights? There is none of that. But I knew it is a hardcore commercial masala film, but I couldn't convince them. So I decided not to be answerable to anybody, and I put my own money in it with my 2 funders and co-producers, who are Dr. Varghese Mullen as well as Vijay Mullen, my friends, and 27th Entertainment. They were big fans of Nambi sir as well. So we ended up making the film, and we had the trust and faith not to release it on OTT during COVID because we wanted to make sure the story was told on the screen. I did not want to direct it. Somebody else was supposed to direct it. But 25 days before the movie was to start, our film had gotten delayed because of casting, because all the actors spoke Tamil, Hindi and English. So while casting them, for one film casting itself, it takes so long for them to speak like an ISRO scientist. But we had to find everybody who spoke all 3 languages. So it got delayed and our director's schedule got clashed and we couldn't accommodate. So the choice was drop the film or I should direct it. Nambi sir believed that I could direct it. So he said that, you know the engine, you know me, you have worked with big directors, so you do it. And the other funder said, we have no problem, we are very happy for you to direct it. So I said, okay, but on the first day, I'm telling you, I was so frightened, I was in tatters. It was like I was standing in front of the huge army that Arjuna was standing in front of. I don't know where to start, what to do. I've never directed an iPhone film in my life. I don't know what it means to go to an editing room or a music session. But one friend called me and said, Madhavan, you're there on the set. There's no point in feeling frightened. You just take that one shot. First shot, just take that first shot. Then you see what happens. So I knew everybody was watching me, so I took that first shot. And then I had the courage to take my second shot. And like that, the film got done. I was very nervous. The whole office was very nervous to know what Nambi sir thought about the film. And Nambi sir always has a beautiful charm of answering the question you asked and then answering the question that you did not ask and answering the question that you're going to ask also. So I knew that he is a genius. He will tell me what I want to know. But after seeing the movie, he just hugged me and he said, I can't talk right now. I'm going to Trivandrum. I'll talk to you later. I said, sir, please tell me. But he didn't want to tell me anything. He went to Trivandrum, called me at 8 o'clock and he said, Madhavan, I have seen more things than most men will ever see in their lives. I have seen more things than most men even should see in their lives. They should also not see the things that I have seen. And so I thought I have seen everything. Now, after watching this movie, I know that a lot of people are going to get jealous of me at my age. And I just wanted to question myself to see if everything I have said is accurate or if there is any fabrication. But he said, everything you have said is true. So he says, thank you for giving me the desire to live long enough to see the outcome of this film and what the public are going to say. I'm very excited. That's what he said.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Madhavan?
Yes, ma'am.
Here. So, sir, I just wanted to understand, so you've showed about the physical attributes that you work so hard about, but there must be some mannerisms, there must be some internalizing that you have to do to bring in that character because it is on his life. So that if you could tell a little bit. And then also you worked, you've done a lot of research, but apart from Sir, Nambi Sir, what else were your sources?
Okay, very good. This film does not have anything. We have what 6-7 minutes in the film only about the case. So I did not have to do, and the whole story is based on the verdicts that the courts have given us. So we have that pivotal factor. We have the fact that Nambi sir told me about the Vikas engine, and the film is about his achievements more than anything else. So I didn't really need other sources except the people who investigated Nambi sir's case. So I contacted ex-CBI IG PM Nair, and I spoke to his son-in-law, Mr. Arunan, who was one of the directors of the Mars mission. All these people came in to help me with factual stuff that happened during their tenure, and these were the only sources. Getting mentally into Nambi Narayanan sir's head was just the barricade. The first initial barricade was a problem, but then I realized we are a lot alike in terms of how we react to anger and impatience and everything. But before I made the film, I told him one thing very clearly. I said, sir, I am not going to make a film where I'm going to show you like the most honorable man on earth, that you are so holier than thou, that you have no drawbacks and no bad qualities, and then as a country we wronged you, because that would be foolish. So I want to ask you, did you have an affair with a Maldivian woman? Did you sleep around outside your marriage? I said, to ask a 75-year-old man, you must be really stupid to ask him all that. But I asked him because I wanted to see how he will react. And most men will say, please mind your language, Mr. Madhavan, or get out, But Nambi sir said, you want to know about my bad qualities? I'll tell you, come here. And he sat down and he told me about all the drawbacks and the flaws in his character and the bad qualities that he had, and he blew.
I'm here because of you. You are the one who changed my life too, with the speeches of you. And I'm very happy to see you here. And coming to the Rocketry.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
My name is Radhakrishna. Coming to the Rocketry. And we all know how Kalam sir contributed to the country. And this film, after this film, we may feel sad, cry, and emotional about the Nambi sirs, right? So we can expect next what the country should be doing again to him. I mean, what he wants to the country, we must return him, right? The love, the loss he has done, he got it, right? So what we are going to give back to the Nambi Narayanan sir with this film, I want to know from you, sir.
Nambi sir doesn't want anything, brother. In fact, if you look at his court speeches when he fought his own case, that court case is not there in my film. But when the Supreme Court asked him what he wants, he said, I don't want compensation. Don't give me the money. I'm not here to earn the money. 3 times they asked him. They said, I'm not here to fight for the money. If I am innocent, who is guilty? Let us find that. We should somebody took India back 20 years in terms of rocket science. Who is that? So even now, what Nambi sir wants is, we should not put down our own scientists, and we should make sure we treat them as assets, the intellectual assets that they are, be it our scientists, our engineers, our doctors, or surgeons, or IT people. And we have to make sure that we do what is good for India, because all the brains in the world are from here. It's not an overstatement, it's an understatement.
My question is, what I want to is, we will contribute. See, Kalam sir is given a lot of things, and we need to give him back the love, what we have done. That's what I want.
He doesn't want love. He doesn't even want recognition.
Yeah.
He is just saying, acknowledge and protect the scientists. That's all he's saying.
Yeah.
That's what he wants, and I think we should do it. They're already doing it. We gave him the Padma Bhushan, we gave him the compensation, but we're also giving him the recognition right now. Recently, the case, you would have seen, people are being arrested on his case as well. The story continues today as I speak to you. So maybe that's the right step.
Sir, I am a big fan to you. I don't know whether it is right to ask you a picture here. And if possible, can I have a picture with you?
Yeah, we can work that out, brother.
I'm sure. We bought a book for you to give to you, and he is my brother. He wants to speak something about you. Give me a minute, if you don't mind.
Hello, sir. It's pleasure meeting you. And I've been following you from Garjamai days. And I think you are the first pan-India star, I believe. And now we have seen many people who are pan-India, but what is the code that you used at the time, so that, just like, at the time, so that you became such household name at the time? Because at the time, to be frank, the South Indians, there was not much opportunities. So what did you do differently so that you became household name?
So before me, Kamal sir has also been a pan-Indian actor. I think Chiranjeevi sir also has done Hindi films and been successful at it. I think the advantage I had at that time is I knew to speak Hindi with the right accent because I was born and brought up there. So the acceptance was much faster. Also because I had done Hindi series that gave me a jumping board out of which I could get into their attention. Thankfully, and God's grace, I also did films that became iconic, from Rang De Basanti to Three Idiots. So they, even though when they accepted the film, they also accepted the actor. I was not particular about only playing the main hero. My selection of subjects, or whether I did Breathe or Decoupled, all that became a part of my acceptance as a pan-India actor. But more than that, today's world is kudos to the Telugu actors who have done it. Allu Arjun, Prabhas, my friend Rana Daggubati, every one of them, Mahesh Babu sir, every one of them are actually becoming exemplaries, and people around India are looking up to them with big fan following in the north. And that their achievement, I think, is much bigger than mine, because they didn't do it in the native language, they did it in their language and still became superheroes for India. So they have much bigger an achievement than mine. But thank you very much for this. I'm really happy. I hope you join us for tea.
Hi.
And yes, sorry.
Just one last
one. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. I'd like to say that you're as good as an orator as you are an actor. It's always a pleasure to hear you speak.
Thank you.
So my question to you is, does genius always come with a price? Do you believe that? And another one is that because you've directed this film, you've explored a storyteller side to you. Of course, actors are also storytellers, but as a director, you see the bigger picture. So do you want to explore that side more, or do you look forward to directing more films?
Well, first of all, thank you for your compliments. It's very touching. Secondly, yeah, there's a price to pay if you're a genius or there's a genius in your family. And I think the price paid for having a genius in your family is far more than being a genius. Because I think when you're a genius, you share the same qualities of a insane person. You don't really care what the rest of the world thinks. And so you're not burdened by it as much as a person or the people living with and around you. The ability to write a story or tell a story, I mean, I'm ashamed to say I haven't taken any classes on writing or filmography or direction or acting. It's been very instinctive, but I realized that, my background is such that if the kind of subjects that I select, be it Three Idiots or Breathe or even Decoupled, they require a kind of, looking ahead of the curve sort of writing, which I'm not able to come across very easily. So I end up being a screenplay writer of my own products and my stories to tell. But I think in the years to come, I mean, I don't know why only America should make movies on, consumer, like science fiction that becomes rage around the world. We have all that. You have our ancient sciences, our ancient mythologies, as well as our modern technology, where we're both experts. And the culmination of that should give us enough and more stories to write. And I hope that writers look in that direction and give us actors the luxury not to having to indulge in our amateur way into writing and rely on their ability to research and tell a story so that we can just completely act and enjoy the process of acting.
Would you like to direct more films?
I'm not qualified to, honestly. This was, like I said, an insane project, and we just knew what story we had to tell as a team. But honestly, I'm afraid that I will be found out. I'm afraid that everybody will realize what a horrible director I am. So I'm going to stick to acting for the years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And Jai Hind.